save money, save food, save the planet. Visit Seattle Public Utilities for more tips.
You are listening to Rainier Avenue Radio World. Don't forget to log on www.rainieravenue radio.world.
Hello, everybody. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us. It's good to see you here, Real Estate and Money. And today we're going to be talking about investment property. So grab a pen and paper. You want to write down some information, and we're going to give you places to call if you want investment property, how to find investment properties, and also how to contact us so we can help you on that journey. So welcome. My name is Tina Lombard, and I'm with Bank of England Mortgage.
And I'm Violeta Strash with Coldwell Banker Danforth.
Great. Good to see you today. Good to see everybody. I see you've got beautiful fall leaves behind you, Violeta.
I know. Yes. It's cold here. And
how many degrees is it there?
I don't know. I think it's about 50 and it's going to be 100% rain. I don't see any rain out there.
Okay. Well, that's okay. We're still at 75 to 80, but it dips down to 5. This is very strange weather for us. It usually is not this. I've been raking my leaves, and usually when I rake my leaves, my fingers are cold. I'm cold. You have to be cold. But right now we're out there in shorts and stuff. So global warming.
Shorts.
Global warming. but later, stick around. We're going to give you some market updates really quick. We're going to talk about real estate there in Washington State and what it looks like, and then I'm going to give you some mortgage tips. But then afterwards, we're going to be talking about investment properties.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind of the thing right now, isn't it?
It is.
A lot of things going on, and I'll talk a little bit about winterizing your home, mm-hmm. and things that's happening for the season. I'll just get into the all the things that have to do with our market update. Mm-hmm. I'm looking around. There's my camera right here. All right. So for King County, we are looking at 566 homes that went on the market in the past couple of weeks, and pending for 90 sold homes, 643 with an average price of $1,142,000. Compared to last year, look at this, $1,140,000, $2,000 difference. That's so funny to me, but and then we're looking at days on the market for King County for September, 13 days last year, and it doubled up to 26 this year. So we're looking at a percent of the list price was about 101.3% last year. Again, flat. I think in all three markets that we're looking at, 3 counties that we're looking at, 100%. But because again, I told you the difference between last year and this year was a mere $2,000. And then showings per listing, 15 showings went down to 9 showings this year. And then last September, looking at showings to get to pending, 22 showings. And sellers, now we're looking at 19 showings to get to pending. So just a difference of 3 days there. And then we're looking at Pierce County, where we had in the past couple of weeks 284 homes go on the market. We had 175 homes that went pending, and 338 homes sold at an average price of $608,000 compared to last year, $597,000. Not a lot of difference, just $11,000 difference there. And then days on the market from when you list to when you actually sell, go mutual, I should say, 16 days last year. And again, it doubled up to 32 this year. Percent of the list price, pretty even across the board. Here we're looking at, again, the $11,000 difference from year to year. Showings per listing, 9 showings last September. This September, we're looking at 6. So just slight difference there of 3 showings. And then showings to get to pending, 15 flat both years. So that's Pierce County for you. And then where's my Snohomish County? We're looking at 566 homes that went on the market, got listed in the last couple weeks, pending 490 homes, and 643 sold at an average price of one. Oh no, you know what? Sorry. Active 239 homes, 197 went pending, and 301 sold an average price of $780,000. And this same time last year, Snohomish County showed $790,000 as an average price sold. And then real quick for days on the market, we had 14 days last September. This year, doubling up to 28. And then the difference was a mere $10,000 difference from year to year. And then showings per listing, 12 showings per listing last September, 7 this September. And then showings to get to pending, 19 showings versus 16. So there you have our 3 markets and the market counts for the past couple weeks. Tina?
Great. Well, we're going to talk about interest rates really quick here. There's not too much to talk about, but we're going to show you really quick. Daniel's got a screen up for us. You see the 30-year fix right now has an average national rate of 8.01. And if you look at last week's rate of 7.89%, you can see it changes a 0.12 change for the worst. Okay, the 15 years at 7.17, the 5-1 arm is at 6.94, and the 30-year fixed jumbo is at 8.01. So if you're out there looking for a house at 1.5 million, the rate is going to be the same as if you bought a house at 600,000. Classically, jumbos are a lot higher, but as you can see now, things are kind of tapering off right there. So as far as the rates are concerned, they're not going anywhere quick. So you can see here all across the board, the 30-year fixed, the 15-year fixed, the 5-1 arm, and the 30-year fixed jumbo, they all have increased. You can see that red right there. You see an increase of 0.12, 0.08, 0.09. So that's not really encouraging words as far as interest rates are going downward. They are actually still increasing. So if you're out there looking for property, buy what you can. If your loan officer says that you're qualified for $950,000 at this rate, then just go for it. Don't get too caught up in the rate because it's going upwards. It's just going to make you upset. But when the interest rates do start coming down, the properties that you buy now, the value hopefully will go up because there's going to be more people competing. There'll be more people in the market. So thank you for showing that, Daniel. Really quick now, as far as interest rates are concerned, if you look at the national average, the interest rates have been going all over the place. From 1971 to 2023, you can see how the rates have gone up, they have gone down, they've gone this way, they've gone that way, but it's never really stopped people from buying houses. If you are sitting on your thumbs and you're saying, hey, the interest rates are 8%, I'm not doing nothing, I'm not buying anything. You're really doing yourself a disservice. If you have to move because of job or you're downsizing because of family, or your kids are going off to college and you want to follow them for whatever reason, if you have to move, just move. Don't worry about the interest rates. When interest rates do go back down, we don't know when they're going to go back down, but when they do go back down, that property that you buy at 8% may go up another $100,000 or $200,000 at 6%, but you end up with the same payment. So as far as interest rates are concerned, they're still going up. We don't see any light at the end of the tunnel right now. So just go ahead and ask your loan officer, hey, what is my rate and what are my payments for this such amount of money? And just go from there. So thank you. That's my update.
Okay.
So, yes. So V, do you still have a lot of people out there complaining about the rates, or what are you seeing in the market with your clients?
Well, you know what? I have clients who actually don't care. They either need to get a house right now.
Yes.
They're buyers and sellers. So I have a few of those, and the straight up buyers. You know what? We're talking about this today. Investment buyers.
Yeah.
So that's the thing to do. And rates don't matter when you got financing. That's awesome from Tina.
Yes. Thank you. Yes. Yes. Indeed. Yeah. I'm finding I've got a couple of clients right now under contract, and they're FHA, and one is VA, and they are looking at some properties that need quite a bit of work. A lot of people right now, because of the rates being so high, they're trying to get the lowest price that they can out there. And they're finding houses that need, roofing, or it needs a set pump, or something, foundations cracked or something. But no time in history, and I've been doing this over 30 years. I have never seen such a time in history where sellers are like, I'll pay for it. I'll pay for it. What do you need? New roof? You need a new room? What do you need? What do you need? A garage? Right now, sellers are like, I'll do it. And so we're asking for 2-1 buy downs. So with a 2-1 buy down, if the interest rate is 8%, and you have the seller pay for the 2-1 buy down, your first rate for the first year is like at 6%. The second year is like at 7%. So a lot of the sellers, we're saying, we're asking for 2 points on a $600,000 home. It's like $12,000 or $14,000. And the sellers are like, okay, sure, yeah, whatever you need, because the value of houses are going down like this. So if the value of houses are going down like this, the sellers are trying to catch you before it goes down even more. So it's a very exciting time. Sellers are saying, yes, what do you want? What do you need? And, when interest rates are like 3.5 or 4%, sellers are like, forget you. We're taking the offer that's $70,000 over asking. So this is a very exciting time.
And I was just in a class today, and the 50-year interest rate average was 7.7.
Mm-hmm.
Average. So, people are squealing about the interest rates right now.
Yes. Right. It's not the time to squeal over interest rates right now, because really, truth be told, if you need a loan, if you need a loan, if you need a house, just go ahead and get it. Don't worry about the interest rates, because your equity is always going to catch up with you. The equity is always going to be made no matter what.
There's so many things, right? So many programs out there that will help buyers.
Yes.
Tina has a number of them. And last week I was in a class for seller financing, assumable loans.
Yes. So in other words, like I have a lady today
now.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Let's talk about assumable loans really quick. So I have a realtor who called me, and the client's VA loan back in 2006 was 3.5%. So if you're a VA and you're looking for a house, you can actually go to his house and apply to assume that house and the loan at 3.2%, at 3.5%. So yeah, that's something that is if you are looking for a government loan, an FHA loan, if you're looking for a VA loan, if your realtor can find you a house that has FHA or VA on it, and you can assume that loan, thumbs up.
Yeah, and all I need to do is run it by Tina to make sure that program is eligible for an assumable loan, because there are some programs that don't allow that. Right?
Exactly. So let's talk a little bit about investment properties.
Yeah,
real quick. And I know that Violeta's got some pictures, but what is an
investment? I don't.
You don't have a picture of this one.
I didn't know. I didn't know you wanted me to. I didn't hear. Sorry.
No, that's okay. So an investment property. What is an investment property? So houses that people live in, or it's called residential housing. When you live there, when you reside there, if somebody resides there, it's residential housing. If you buy a house and you live in it, then it's occupied. It's owner occupied. Mm-hmm. That is not an investment. An investment property is something that you don't live in. Somebody else lives in it, and you actually landlord, so on and so forth. So like Violeta was saying, these clients are not rate sensitive. If their payment is $3,200, but they're getting $5,000 a month, do they care if they have an interest rate of 11% or 5%, whatever? They don't care. It's positive.
Yeah.
So V, tell us a little bit about the people that you have looking for investment properties. What are they looking for?
Well, actually, let me give you a good example. And you have a program for a fix and flip. I have a builder, a contractor, who wants to get a little house to start out with, and in about the $300,000 range. And there are a few, not very many, but a few of those that are really run down. But if you start with something small and you fix the roof, you clean out the inside, there's a lot of cosmetic things that need to be done, and they can turn around and sell it. And I would help them sell that property to someone who would actually live in the home, or another investor, right, that would use it as a rental, or he could use it as a rental. Right. It's up to him how he wants to do it. But it's a great time to get into that segment of the market. You think? And you have a special loan program for that.
So they've got loan programs now for investment properties, and it's a very exciting time. Usually investment properties, if you were to go Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, just a regular conventional loan, you have to put 15 to 20 to 25% down. Now that's classic. As of November 18th, Fannie Mae, or actually Freddie Mac, they're actually coming out with a program where you only put 5% down for a conventional loan for investment property. Now that is upsetting the market. It's in a very, very good way.
That's new.
That's new. So it's 1 to 4 units. So let's say you've got somebody and they qualify for $300,000. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
If they buy a fourplex, and the fourplex has got the one property plus 3 other properties that are making money, though that income stream goes in the calculation of your loan. So let's say you get a fourplex and that rental is $2,000, that's $2,000, and that's $2,500. Then you've got what? You've got like almost $7,000 in income, and you make like $1,000 a month. Who cares? Whatever. You know, the mortgage is something around $300,000 or $400,000 or $4,000 or $5,000. You are still going to be in the green. So as far as investment properties are concerned, that's one thing to consider. If you have 5% down to buy a duplex or a single family or multifamily up to 4 units, you can certainly do that. We have a very popular program right now, and it's called the DSCR loan, and that's the debt service cash ratio. So the reason for this loan is for investors to put down 20%. We care about credit score. We care about down payment of 20%. And we care about the rent in the property in which you're wanting to purchase. We don't care about your income. We don't care if you're employed or who you're employed. We don't care. We don't ask. And so, Violeta, there's a lot of people out there who maybe they own a lot of businesses. Maybe they own 1 or 2 rental properties. And when it comes to tax time, they write off everything. They write off trucks and repairs. And, you know, so it doesn't really show much rental income when it comes to their tax returns. So they can't buy other properties because they've written everything off. There's no income. Well, this program is very good for those investors. There's some people with 7, 10, 15 properties or what have you. But if you are having a hard time showing all your income on your tax returns, DSCR loan is perfect for you because you put 20% down. We look at your credit to make sure that you're credit worthy, and then we look at the house to see that the rent is more or equal, or sometimes a little bit under than the mortgage. And so that is something that you really want to look at. So I've got a link there. Dan, can you show that first link I have there, the Fortune Builders? Now this right here, this shows you a little bit the 6 undeniable benefits investing in real estate. So first of all, there are tax advantages when you invest in investment properties. Okay, so there are tax advantages with that. So that's one of the benefits, cash flow. So if you have a rent where the rent is, let's say $4,000 a month, your mortgage is $2,500 or $3,000, you have that $1,000 worth of cash flow. So cash flow is very important. You can hedge against inflation. So inflation is definitely something that we're always looking at. And investment properties actually help you hedge against inflation. It says here, inflation is defined as a sustained increase in the general level of prices for goods and services. But when you buy a house like this, you buy a house at, let's say $500,000, and next year it's worth, $550,000 or $600,000. That helps you keep up with inflation. Leverage funds. A lot of times, if let's say you've got $500,000 sitting in your retirement account or something like that, you don't need to use your whole $500,000 to go out and buy a new investment property. Maybe you only need $100,000 to do that. So, it's a good way of leveraging your funds when you do buy investment property because you can get a lot on your return. Like it says here, $500,000 property with $100,000 down. So you don't have to use your whole $500,000 to buy a $500,000 home. Equity and appreciation, those kind of go hand in hand. If you buy an investment property, let's say at $500,000, and you get positive cash flow, let's say of about $2,000 a month. So 2,000 times 12, that's $24,000 a year that you get off of cash flow. Plus that house at $500,000 is now worth $550 or $575 the next year. So not only did you get the cash flow of $24,000, you also get the increase in equity. So if you have investment property, it's like playing Monopoly. You get appreciation in the actual property, plus you get positive cash flow. So that's a win-win. And so just really quick here, a lot of people are not buying houses because in their mind, the interest rates are too high. So what do you think they're doing? They're renting. They're renting. And so if you're a landlord, you got the houses to rent. So it's a very, very good place to start as far as investing in properties. Now I've got another link right there I want to show everybody. And this link here talks about how to look at the right properties to buy. So best places to buy in real estate 2023. What it talks about here is you want to find residential properties in lower and middle income areas. So you don't want to buy a $1.5 million townhouse and expect to get, your mortgage is going to be a lot more than the rent. So you want to look for houses that are in lower to middle class areas. We keep going down here. Areas with growing populations. So areas like Denver, there's a lot of economy growing. So anywhere where there's, even Seattle is constantly growing. So if you're in an economy where the populations are growing, that is going to feed, 20, 30 years from now, it's going to be a positive effect on your property because more people want your property. It says here too, the key to successful real estate investing is often follows demand. Areas such as Las Vegas, Madison, Wisconsin, present prime opportunities thanks to their growing populations. So Las Vegas, everybody knows 10 people from Seattle that retired and went to Vegas. Everybody knows at least 10 people who've gone to Vegas and they bought a house in Vegas because the economy is growing. So that's one of the areas that you want to look at. Places you're familiar with. Talks about places that you're familiar with. You don't want to buy in a place that you're not familiar with because you may be buying in an area where there's a lot of crime or, there's problems with politics or discrimination, whatever. So you don't want to buy a property that you're not familiar with. I know the Seattle market, I know the Denver market and around it. So I want to spend my money on something I'm not really very knowledgeable about because I could be at risk. So basically, that's basically the keys there. That's usnews.com. But thank you, Daniel. Thank you for showing that. So when you do invest, you want to make sure that you're somewhat tight. Some people, let's say that they grew up in Las Vegas, and now they live in Florida. Well, it'd be a good place for them to invest because they know the area. But if you're somewhere so far from where you live or you just don't know anything about the area, that's not a good investment because you're not going to be abreast of the economy or, if something happens to your house, what are you going to do? So the takeaways here is that investment property is very good, but make sure that you talk to a good realtor to find out the area demographics, if it's a good place to rent, what the costs are. And then once you find a secure place, you want to go ahead and get to a lender, let the lender give you advice on how much you need down and how fast they could close the loan and what your return on income or what your profit per month would be. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then for a lot of people too, life events happen. So take into consideration health concerns, where your family or if there's education issues, where that fits your whatever lifestyle, whatever you're doing now. Say, I'm going to dump my husband. I don't want to be anywhere near him. So I'm going to move to the other side of the country. That kind of thing, and figure out what New York is all about. But, or, it's, I have arthritis. I need to be in a dry area. I don't want to, get into the humidity. So I might go to Arizona. A lot of people from here are going to Arizona.
Yes.
Too.
Yes.
And Palm Desert.
Mm-hmm. And, it's something because a lot of people, they can buy an investment property, but a lot of people, you're right, V, if you're living in a house, maybe that's your investment property and you go buy a new home.
Yeah.
You can always do a cash out on the house that you're owning, put that money in the bank or something like that. But, the house that you're leaving, make that into a rental property. That's an easy way to do it. You don't have to worry about, do I have a down payment, so on and so forth, because that's a great way to start. If you have a house right now and you're like, I want to go to another house, blah, 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 look at the cash flow you can get. I have a lot of people in Seattle, their house is worth $1.1 million and they owe like $400,000. They can easily rent and get the money back easily.
Yeah. The snowbirds, right? They go half a year over here, half a year in Arizona, half the year in Montana.
Yes.
Whatever.
Yes.
And rent it out or Airbnb it out, while you're not at one or the other.
We can do Airbnb. We can do those loans too. So don't think that's out of, I've got good friends who bought Airbnbs and they're living off of it right now.
Is that considered rental then? Investment rental?
It's still considered rental. Some states don't have some counties and cities don't allow Airbnb, but Palm Springs, whatever, there are a lot of places, Sancadia, there are a lot of places where you can do Airbnbs. And we do financing for that.
Awesome.
And so it's available. So that's it with our investments today. If you have any other questions, give us a call and let us know what we can do to help you. But I guess we have some announcements.
Well, do you have a list of announcements from the station? Usually there's Friday night games, football,
Yes.
my Huskies, my Seahawks, all these guys, the soccer team, Sounders, everybody won. Even my Formula One team won.
Yes. Let me see what Jonas got here. Join us for coverage from Best Starts from Kids Summit early in the morning at 9 a.m. tomorrow and Thursday morning. Metro League football playoffs this Saturday with Ballard versus Lincoln at 6 p.m. And the WIAA Primetime Weekly is next in their 25th show.
Wow.
Okay, so you want to stay tuned for them.
All right. And then one announcement that I think you guys should pay attention to is next Tuesday, when we see you again, the 31st, that's when your property taxes are due.
Okay.
Be ready. If those people have to pay taxes, that's next week. So, right, Tina?
Yes.
Be ready for your second half of the year taxes. And then there's things happening here, like, there's a Seattle Restaurant Week.
Oh, nice.
This week where the select places will offer, a 2 or 3 course meal for a certain price per person. Great deal if you want to try places like, along the waterfront. Reston has the Wildfin and those kind of places. So that's happening. There's a lot of pumpkin mazes, and you pick pumpkin farms that you can go to with a family. And in Snohomish, the 28th, there's a zombie walk.
Ooh, nice.
I don't know if I'll go to that, but a lot of people are into those things. And
yes, I actually went to Terror in the Corn up at Anderson Farms in Erie, Colorado. It's the number 3 best haunted house in the U.S. and number 1 in Colorado.
Wow,
it was so much fun. So yes, Anderson Farms up there in Erie, Colorado. You really want to, if you can, get up there.
Yeah. I remember going to the underground Seattle. Haunted thing.
Haunted all year round. Yes.
Yeah, and I was so distracted. I wanted to look at the things that are down there first time around, and the mummy or whoever that creature was kept trying to touch me and stuff, and I finally whacked him. I'm trying to get through this place. Stop touching me.
Oh my gosh. Wow. Okay. That's scary. Yes. Seattle Underground. Seattle Underground Tour. That's famous.
Yes.
I'm glad you smacked somebody.
Yeah. Halloween. It's always a fun time of the year. I know last year we didn't get any trick-or-treaters, but we had a lot. My husband had a lot of candy to eat. I don't like chocolate.
Yeah, we always buy it for our family. Nobody comes to the door. Yeah.
Full size, king size, right? Yeah. Well, anyway, is that time for us?
Yes.
Tina?
Okay. Yes. So anyways, thank you so much. For joining us next week. And join us next week. We'll be here in Denver, Colorado at 3:30 p.m.
And we have a special guest, right?
Yes, we have a appraiser. We'll be talking about appraisals, appraisers, and how to get your house appraised and when and where you can get your house appraised at.
All right. Thank you all for joining us today. I'm Violeta Strash with Coldwell Banker Danforth.
Yes, and I'm Tina Lombard with Bank of England Mortgage. We'll see you next time.
See you next week. Bye-bye.